Howdy folks, this is Tadpole Smitty. I'm up here in Denver, Colorado, riding the Platte River, and today, me and my Catrike Pocket are headed to EBO, Electric Bike Outfitters. I'm gonna ride on the Platte River Trail. I'm gonna go to EBO straight off the trail and watch him install my e-assist on my Catrike. The Metropolis transmission is working fabulous. Just got it installed this weekend. It's beautiful, runs great. Shift it right here. You can shift it from a dead standstill, from 1 to 1 to overdrive. Flawless. You can do it backing up, you can do it going forward, you can do it sitting still. You can go from 1 to 1 to a 60% overdrive. Doesn't care. Under load, doesn't care. Fabulous transmission. They need to start building this again. That's not why we're here today. Today, we're going to ride the Platte River for a while. I'm waiting for EBO. They're getting ready for me. They got my wheel laced. We're going to install my wheel. We're going to install my motor, my battery. Everything's going to be installed. We're going to film them. We're going to show. We're going to interview Jason on a bunch of topics. So without better ado, let's take a little ride. Get ready to go do EBO. I've never ridden this trail before. From my understanding, by looking at Google Maps, it's a 20-mile, about 19 to 20-mile track. It follows I-25, which is right there. And it just goes along the river, back and forth, down through here. It's a nice trail. It's in the heart of downtown Denver. EBO is not very far from the football stadium here in Denver, Colorado. Sam Patterson Metropolis 2-speed transmission, planetary drive, whatever you want to call it. It's both. It's a planetary drive. It's a transmission. With e-assist on the back, I think this is going to be a neat rig. Just came off the trail at the Platte River, and I'm at the headquarters of EBO Electric Bike Outfitters right here. That's where we're gonna be shortly. Back at EBO, ready for my appointment. Let's see how this goes. All right, we're inside at EBO Electric Bike Outfitters. We're here with Jason, the owner. Jason, how are you doing?
Not too bad. Good to see you, Smitty.
So I'm here to install my 500-watt hub drive. Which one am I getting?
I think we're going with the cadence-based, or did you want to go with the torque-based?
I'm going with the cadence-based.
All right. Everything's been prepped and tested, so we have it all ready to go. So as soon as we get your trike in here, we can start the install pretty quick. Got a couple guys here will be doing the install with me, so we can talk and do whatever we need and have the install going in the background the whole time.
Okay, cool. So Jason's been here since 2000?
2014, I think, was the official date of EBO. All the R&D and things were happening starting in 2011 with another company, Livingston Systems.
Okay, so you've been doing this a while.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get the trike and get started, and me and you can talk and we can do some stuff.
All right, fantastic.
All right, I'll go get it.
Like, you know, I'm cash just to send another. Let's send another. Hi, guys.
Hey, how are you?
Good, I'm Nick.
Nick, how are you?
Alan, nice to meet
This is my brother, this is Jason, and this is Nick. And Nick, you do what here?
What's that?
What do you do here?
We all do a little bit of everything here. But I'll be helping do your install today.
Okay, cool. Let's do this.
Everybody that works at EBO, basically, everybody has to be able to do everything. So everybody has to be a mechanic and be able to test everything, invoice, ship. The reason being is if someone calls, if someone answers the phone, we want a mechanic answering the phone, not just an administration person doesn't know anything about the system, so they can actually answer questions to the bike shops.
Cool. That makes sense. That's the way I did. That's the way we did in the military. So one guy goes down, another one picks up.
Yeah.
So eliminate single points of failure.
So you can light test it all.
Cool.
So this is our house brand. We have a few dozen shops that carry it. A lot of local shops especially carry the brand because it's just basically we build and drop off, so it's really convenient for them.
So I seen online that you have the down bike and you have more of a fat tired one like this.
So
You got 4 different models?
So we have only 6 frames altogether. So we have a full step, a mid step, and a diamond. And there's 2 sizes in each one of those. And what we do, depending on what the customer wants, we just had a guy doing touring. We built him a custom Nick bike where we made it a touring bike. Like this guy here is for a local guy that wanted a bike just to commute.
Okay.
So it has a big basket in the front and a bag in the back for him. And he wanted bigger tires. So all of them are customizable. They come stock a certain way, but as shops order them, they can say, hey, this guy wants a beefier tire, this guy wants a bigger rack. So we can customize them out however the consumer wants them.
And are they pretty popular?
Yeah.
I seen on your website that you have dealers all over the United States.
We do.
And in Canada.
We do. We have 100 active dealers and around 200 total dealers. On our website, I think we have around 100 dealers listed, and those are active dealers for the most part. And then we have a lot of dealers that will buy 1 or 2 things a year.
And this is your house trike or bike? You do. Do you do trikes as well?
We do not.
But you do work on all models of trikes?
Yeah.
I see a Tater trike over here, or a couple actually, right?
Yep, Avenue trike and a Tater trike. And then as you walk out the door here, there's a couple cat trikes.
And this is your mid-drive.
Mm-hmm.
And this is your 500 watt?
It's 500 watt. This one's set up as torque.
Torque meaning you have a...
Yeah, it's got a sensor in the bottom bracket that recognizes torque in the pedal.
Cool. This is a Gran Turismo. This is a nice trike.
It is.
This is a little upgrade from my Tater trike that I have.
If you wanted to try the system you're getting, it's on a Villager right now. This is for a local bike shop. And this is our demo with a torque-based system on it. And you can try out these, kind of get a feel. It's basically the same system you're getting right here on yours right now.
Okay.
And if you want to see what the torque felt like, you jump on this one too.
Okay. And what's your name?
Dustin.
Dustin, glad to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
How long you been working here?
2 years about.
And everybody does the same thing, a little bit of
We
everything.
all do a little bit of everything here, yeah.
We tested your battery yesterday, and here's your battery test. Bring it up here. So what you're seeing right here is the resistance in your battery during the test. Right here is the graph of your test. So basically this is your resistance running here, this is your voltage running down here, and the blue is your amperage. So basically we're simulating peaks and valleys, so like you're riding up a hill, down a hill, and a flat. And here's your discharge compared versus capacity. And here's your final measurement results. So your resistance was around 200, and your the max would be 400, so you did pretty good milliamps. The capacity here, you see it's 12.23, and it's a 12.8 amp battery, but one thing you have to notice is the testing started at 53.9. So basically it wasn't fully charged when we started the test. we charge them up and then they sit for a while before we test them. So there's always a little bit of vampire going on in the batteries. So none of our tests will ever show 12.8 unless we pull them off immediately from the charger, let them sit for an hour and start testing them, and they're around 12.8. So
Cool.
your cutoff here was 37.44. And that's when the BMS board shut it down to protect the cells. Your controller is going to shut it down around 40.39, so that will help protect it a little bit more.
So you do all your batteries, you test them 100%.
Yes, they're all UL certified, but we still do a secondary test here before anything goes out, just to make sure everything's safe.
And the BMS, is it has a high temperature and a low temperature on it, as far as like shutting it off if the battery starts to overheat, or on the battery itself?
The BMS board does have all those different UL certifications in it, so anything that UL once it specifies, it has. So it covers all those arenas of, heat. If it's getting hot, everything shuts down. If it's being overcharged, it'll shut down. But also, when you talk about the chargers are smart chargers, so they're not going to overcharge you. So you have a second spot of protection.
How many can you run at a time in there? Looks like you got 20 of them.
We could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 batteries at one time.
You do a lot of Catrikes at this shop?
Yeah, we're probably approaching or have passed our 1,000th Catrike install at this point.
Holy mackerel. And what do most of people go with, hubs or mid-drives?
It depends on kind of the style of riding that they're trying to get into. And the feel of a torque sensor is different than a cadence sensor.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to go take a test ride and feel the difference.
Yeah, and you'll feel.
Which one do you like?
I really like our torque sensing hub motor. It kind of makes it so there's no like ghost pedaling. Like if on a cadence-based system, sometimes the motor might outrun you if you're like in a little too high of a setting or something, and then you're just kind of like it's still kicking in even though you're not putting too much pressure on the pedals.
And what's the cost difference to go to a torque sensing?
I'm not sure off the top of my head. Our torque sensing hub motor kit is probably, I want to say it's less than $200 more than a regular cadence-based.
Fortunately, I don't think I can go with that because I put my 2-speed planetary on.
That's what I was going to mention is the downside of a torque system, whether it's a crank-based motor that's going to be up here, or it's a torque sensing hub motor, you are going to be limited to a single in the front, single gear. Yeah.
I still want to ride it for my own knowledge, but yeah, I'm going to go with the cadence. That's what I'm used to.
Yeah.
But I still would like to ride it to get the experience.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way too, where like gear ratio is really important to me. I always want to be able to go lower,
Yeah, if you break down, it's nice to have gears.
Yeah, totally.
If your motor dies, and you can still get home.
So here we got your brake that locks, which is nice to have on a recumbent when you're sitting down, getting on and off the bike.
I actually like that design. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and just pull it up and you can just kind of slide your hand down.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
And then you have the throttle?
We have your throttle here, and it mounts to your bar end shifter. We put a little kind of a peg coming out, mounts into that. So you have a nice hand position here, which is nice and easy.
Yeah, I like that.
Doesn't get in the way of shifting, yeah. And then we're gonna mount something, a little arm off here to mount your display.
Cool.
Right there, yeah.
I noticed you guys use heat shrink to cover your.
This isn't heat shrink. This is just a nice little rubber piece, but
that's a nice finish.
Yeah, it'll be nice.
The two displays.
Yeah, I'll pull out a small one.
I like that. I like bigger because I'm kind of going blind.
This one's got a smaller screen. It's a little more low profile. Also, you can see on this display, it's got a button pad that we can kind of remotely mount.
Okay.
A little bit. And on this display, the button pad is integrated.
Which one do you like?
I like the smaller one, just because I do like the integration of this. And it's just lower profile. It's kind of like, it's a little more discreet to me, so I like it for that.
As far as visual, which one's easier to read?
They pretty much look identical on the screens. It's just you know, the layout is a little different.
One if I can see it.
Yeah, let's go
well.
plug a couple in for you. You can see them in action before you.
What I like about EBO is they custom build these systems for us. So different batteries, different motors, 350 watt, 500 watt, mid drives, hub drives, but also the displays. And he's going to show me the difference between them so I can pick which one I like. So let's go ahead and do that.
So I got plugged in our bigger display here.
Okay. I like that. That's very easy to see.
Yeah. It'll show you your watts that you're putting out. It's got you know, your trip distance, your trip time. Those you can reset. It's got your temperature. We'll change that to Fahrenheit in the settings. It's got your voltage of your battery there. We'll change that to miles per hour, changing the settings.
Okay.
And then we can see our smaller display, which has the exact same functionality. It's just got a slightly different layout and a button pad that is integrated on the side of the display there. So like I said, it looks pretty much the same.
The size is almost the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if we're kind of comparing, it's probably half the size, but it's got the same amount of info packed in there.
Huh. Plug that one in one more time for me.
Yeah.
Smitty, you want a coffee?
Sure. I think I'll take the big one.
Yeah.
I'm cataratic.
Mm-hmm.
They want to do surgery on me pretty soon, so I need all the help I can get. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you doing it. Hey, thanks, Jason. Coffee and everything. Home sweet home.
Like how you're doing all the testing, and I was reminded of all that.
I'm on the battery rack. And who do you guys, Terracycle?
T-Cycle, yeah.
Yeah, they do a lot of good stuff.
They do. We like their battery racks a lot. They fit
Everybody likes
just about
stuff.
anything.
They've
Yeah.
got a few of their things, but
I noticed, yeah, you have this bar up here. That's
Yeah.
nice. They do make the nicest stuff.
yeah. Nothing wrong with that. Top quality.
Worth every penny.
Portland, Oregon, I think that's where they're out of, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nick, I noticed you have a different idler for me.
Yeah.
Why do you have this? What is this? I know what it is, but I need you to tell me what it is.
Yeah. So this is a great example. We put these on. Basically, the original way we were doing these Catrikes is we had to put a magnet ring on with a sensor.
Right.
And when you were pedaling, you would realize that you're pedaling and then tell the assist to kick in. And the way we used to do it involved removing your smallest gear in the front. So in tandem with T-Cycle, we kind of designed, had them, you know, we designed it and had them kind of make it, and they still make them for us. But by replacing your idler with this magnet sensor and an idler that has magnets pressed into it like this, if your chain's moving, that means you're pedaling. So if your chain's moving, it's going to tell it to kick in.
Pickup's going to see the magnet.
And this way you can continue using your geared cranks up there and have all the shit.
No modification to the front.
And if you had the original Catrike, like triple crank.
And the reason the
still have your full
Catrike
range.
needed that is because it has a gossamer bottom bracket that is not square tapered, right? And you couldn't put a pickup behind that.
Right, yeah, it's got a
three-piece
spindle there, yeah.
So my Patterson wouldn't allow that. They would have had a problem with the system.
Right.
And I cannot do the torque-based sensor that they would put in the bottom bracket because of the Pattersons in here.
Mm-hmm.
But because they have the idler, which is perfect for me, takes the place of this one right here. You guys use a freewheel 10-speed on the back with your hub motors and a special rim, right? It's a E-assist rim.
Yeah, it's a little burlier.
Yeah, a little bit. Why do you use a freewheel on the back?
So we use freewheels because of the compatibility. So you can throw anything from like a 7 to an 11 speed freewheel we don't want to run into scenarios where, say, you know, you have a different drive on your cassette body, you know, that we have to worry about compatibility, and we can't be having, you know, a bunch of 3 different splines and stuff. So this just has the faceplate underneath here has that threaded surface for a freewheel.
It's very nice.
Yeah.
What I also noticed is Jason, I asked him to give me some Schwabe Marathon Pluses, and he installed those for me. And what I like about EBO is their e-assist rear rim has not got the aluminum strip right here for the braking.
Yeah.
It's a little cleaner look. It looks more stock. I like that.
It's available if people need a braking surface, but yeah, it does look nice without it.
Yeah, it's more custom and better. And when you buy them off Amazon, you're going to get them with that for the V braking system.
Yeah, every
Take off
time.
my old brakes and I put on a new brake handle. Grip. I don't know what you call that. A brake handle?
Lever.
Lever. Yeah, brake lever. Because theirs has a sensor in it. The sensor does what? Turn off the motor, or?
It'll cut the motor when you pull the brake, yeah.
Were you going to stop by there and check them out?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just told him.
Maybe I don't know what time we get done today, but what's they like? What are they like?
I mean, they're a big trike shop, but they have Catrike, some ice, some HPs, Tater trikes, but good spot to stop. I was just talking about some of the bikes that I like to ride. I really like sports cars with trikes, but the Spider from Tater Trike, they have one in there that you have to go
I wanna
ride.
see one.
You have to go ride it. It's so
Do
fast.
they have a Green Speed Arrow over there?
I think so.
I want to ride the Spider and the Arrow.
And he has the new Catrike too. The
The
all
brand new
road.
all road. Yeah.
So I just tried that just a couple
Yeah,
days
we'll
ago.
go over there today or tomorrow. What time they close? Do you know? 6.
I think 5 or 6.
So what's different about the all-road since you've been around?
It's basically a Villager that has suspension, and it's a little higher than a Villager.
I don't know if I want to see that.
Jason, typically, how long does it take to do a conversion?
It depends on the person. If it's one of our skilled guys, an hour. And as long as they're not answering the phone, making invoices,
talking to an
shipping,
interviewer.
talking to an interviewer, a lot of things can change that. But I think about all of us, about 1 hour, we can do a full install on a Catrike.
Test ride and everything. Cool. Yeah, I've been asking a lot of questions, so I have slowed them down. Please excuse them. Don't put the time clock on them. Listen, I know you start off at 350 watts.
Yeah.
And how many hub designs do you have?
So we have a 350, then we have the 500 watt, and then we have a 750 all gear motors. Then we do a direct drive 750. Part of the reason I kind of moved you towards a 500 is there's a lot more gains than losses with it. You might lose a little bit of mileage, but from discussing with you how you're riding, what you're doing, the extra wattage might be good on hills for you. If you're in Florida, for example, a 350 is fine. It's pretty flat, and you basically lose 2 pounds of weight with the 350 motor. But if you're hitting some mountains, some big hills, that's a good time to consider going up to 500.
So the 500, the housing's a little bigger, and there's thicker windings inside on
more
the
copper
stator.
in there, bigger gears. Sucks a little more power, but the mileage loss is pretty minimal. It's you might lose 1 to 5 miles somewhere in there, depending on your riding.
So Jason did an interview with me prior to me purchasing from him, and what we came up with was that because I ride in the Rocky Mountains and I pull a lot of hills, he felt that I needed a little more robust motor because the 350 on a lot of hills will thermally shut down, right?
Yeah, we'll see, like I'll use like Eagle, Colorado, for example. If you take a 350 up there and you start riding around some of these 6% grades, it's about 9 miles, I'd say, is roughly what we see. It'll cut off the motor because it's protecting itself. So like basically it gets too hot, the system recognizes too hot, and shuts it all down. If you're on flat land, you'd never have to worry about that. And after talking to you about your riding and what you're doing, I think it was an advantage, especially if you're going to leave your area and head into Colorado or Wyoming and ride other places.
So let's talk about the difference between the 350 and the 500. The 350 weighs how much?
5.5 pounds.
And this 500?
About 7 to 7.5.
And the battery and everything weighs the same on both trikes?
Yeah, 7 pounds on the batteries.
So total weight for my 500 added to my Pocket is how much?
Exactly, you're somewhere around, I think, 13 pounds, 14 pounds max.
Okay, cool.
You know, there's obviously some changes with, you know, we're changing out your brakes, you're adding a throttle and display, you're changing out your cassette to a freewheel. The rim might be heavier, lighter, we don't know without weighing it. But things that we switch out, we don't know. We haven't weighed your brake levers or. Yeah,
you're getting down
the
to that tax there.
So I don't know the exact amount.
So it's approximately 14 pounds.
Yeah.
So I also had Jason put on some Marathon Plus. Pluses are better for e-assist, and they're heavier duty tire for thorn protection, right?
Yep. And they're rated for e-bikes going roughly 20 plus miles an hour. And
the racers are not.
That's correct.
So my bike came with Schwabe racers, and we upgraded to Marathon Plus, which in the industry is voted one of the best tires out there. Jason, what I noticed that Nick's doing, he's dialing in my whole system. He's adjusting my brakes, and he adjusted my derailleur.
Yeah.
So you guys go in and tune this whole thing up when you install a system.
Yeah, obviously, like when we put the rear wheel on, there might be some tuning to make sure that it still shifts correctly. We're going to replace the whole brake levers. So when we put the new levers on, they're going to be a little bit looser or tighter depending on the brake systems on there. So we'll tighten those back up and adjust to make sure everything's working properly.
I appreciate that. Not only that, he's adjusting my disc because it was rubbing. He's straightening it.
You can tell is by measuring and stuff, actually get it out and take a really, really close look.
Yeah, this one's kind of wobbly too, huh?
Anything about it.
Hey guys. Thanks for your install.
Yeah,
Thanks for
welcome.
the help.
Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, I really enjoyed your tech.
Yes,
Jason, I enjoyed you, and Nick.
Keep in
I
touch.
really enjoyed. Thanks for tuning up my trike.
Looking forward to the videos.
Good to meet you.
So this isn't goodbye. This is till next time.
Yeah.
I expect to see you in Santa Fe and come down and visit.
You got
Bring
it.
some bikes down. So folks, I hope you like our show. If you like my show, like and subscribe. Until next time and next ride, this is Tadpole Smitty saying adios. Alrighty folks, this is Tadpole Smitty. I'm back in Santa Fe. It's been about a week since tomorrow will be a week since I was up in Denver getting the EBO 500 watt system put on my trike. I rode it up there, but I didn't want to film the closing of this film based on my initial feelings to tell you how great this system is. I wanted to get home and ride it 4 or 5 times in this first week. Now I'll give you my impression of how great I feel this system is. So with nothing better to do, let's finish up this YouTube story about my EBO on a little short ride, and I'll give you the summary of the way I feel. All right, let's go for a ride. It's a little bit blustery out this morning. It's about 40 degrees, but the winds are kicking up. I hope it doesn't mess up the film. It's a little cold. Not too bad. About enough for my nose to run. I wanted to wait till I got back to Santa Fe to give you an assessment of the EBO 500 watt system. Because up riding it on my initial evaluation up there, it's quite pleasant. Now I must warn you, the GoPro is going to over exaggerate the sound, mechanical sounds. The electric motor that you hear humming in the background is going to be much louder on the GoPro than it is in real life. Now I'm not going to say this motor is whisper quiet, because you can hear it, but it's not unpleasant. In fact, it's slightly a little more quiet than my Catrike 250 watt Promovit. I put about 4 or 5 days of riding on this. I think it's 4 days. I rested when I got back from Denver. It's a little bit of a drive, 5 or 6 hours. But other than that, we had a good time up there. I must say that I want to do a shout out to Jason and his crew, Nick and Dustin, the two guys that installed it, and Jason graciously letting me spend the whole day with them in the shop discussing e-assist and motors and batteries and Nike bike that he builds, that he sells across the United States and Canada. Pretty neat setup, that bike. But I did so much interviewing that I'm gonna have to chop it up into different shows, because we'd have an over an hour long show, and most people don't even like watching a 20-minute show. So I'll do different segments, one about batteries, one about motors, different types of motors, one about torque sensors, one about cadence sensors, battery life, all that kind of stuff. I'll do 2 or 3 shows, separate ones, trying to encapsulate everything that Jason explained to us. What a wealth of knowledge. He's been doing it a long time. So I've got a little bit of time under my belt on this trike since I got it back from Denver. Now I must say I did a few things even after I got back. I installed fenders. I installed a rear rack and bag on the back. And which allowed me, when I installed the fenders, it allowed me to open up the cockpit a little bit. One thing about the Pocket, it's very narrow. When your hands are on the handlebars, without fenders, your fingers are very close to the tire, right over here. So when you put fenders on, it protects your hands from getting into the tires. So what that allowed me to do by putting fenders on, I was able to spread my bars out right here, outward. Everything's attached to the bar, the handlebars. You can see down here the accessory comes off the bar, and it used to be a little closer into my leg, and that allowed me to lean these out. So that's a good thing. The Cat Pocket is very narrow. It's probably one of the smallest cockpits in the trike industry for a full-sized trike. It's the smallest, I think. That's why they call it the Pocket. But I'm a 5'9" guy, 185, 190 pounds. I fit pretty darn good on this trike. I needed a little more room over here to this display to clear my leg. So by leaning out the bars, that helped. I adjusted things a little different after they installed it to my liking in the cockpit. I like the throttle setup. It's right here. It's close to my shifter, and the throttle's really responsive. I like this throttle. Comes right off my micro shifter right up here on top on my Stram shifter. Just mounts right into the end. Pretty cool. The monitor mounts to my accessory bar coming up from my mirrors. I could have got a smaller monitor you saw earlier in the film. I have a hard time seeing. I would have liked to have had that, because that puts my on and off switch down here. If I'd have got the other monitor, I could have mounted the button right up here. It would have been on the outside. It would have been easier to get to. I may get that monitor later. It's a simple swap out, and I don't think it's too expensive. I might do that and have both to see which one I like more. I thought I needed the bigger one because of my eyes. I have cataracts and I can't see real well sometimes, especially focusing up close. So I'm not unhappy with this monitor by any means. It's easy to read and easy to ride with. So far, I'm very happy with the performance. I must say that the 500 watt motor has got a lot more power than I thought it would have. It feels more than 500. And I must say that it's pretty responsive. I like the way it's set up. When I'm in level 1, like right now, it doesn't try to do all the work for me. I'm putting pretty good amount of effort into my legs, is what you want. If I want to go faster, I can hit this throttle, or I can simply turn it up to higher levels by pushing this button right here. But I pretty much riding in 0 and 1. The way this is configured, I have no throttle and 0. 0 means nothing. It's other than the monitor's on and it's watching my miles per hour and it's my telemetry's on, but it's not going to give you any electrics. I'm not going to tell you what the battery life is because I don't know. I need more time riding it before I start preaching about how great the battery is, but so far I'm impressed. I'm sitting on about a half a tank of battery, and I'm approaching my, let's see, I'll be close to 40 miles on the indicator. We'll see how it does today. I won't do a battery life for a while. In fact, I'll give you guys my promise on this. I will continually give you updates on the performance of the EBO. First out of the saddles today. I'll do recaps as we ride along together on my different shows, different trips. But I will do a major evaluation at 6 months, and then I'll do a big show at 1 year. Hopefully have some more information on the performance of the system for you. So I hope you like my show, folks. Like and subscribe. Turn me on to your friends. Until next time, folks, happy riding. Be sure to watch the upcoming shows about EBO and the Electric Bike Outfitter Shop and the interviews we did while we were there.